Hello and welcome. The build continues for the Ninjago Blacksmith. Now we are going very, very heavy into Ninjago this year, so there's going to be lots and lots of Ninjago sets coming. I'm now currently looking at the new Old Town in the right position, mixed in with the roller coaster, sat in this position now. I think it does look very, very smart indeed. So I will try and get some photos for everybody for the next sort of live stream, which might be this evening, because I want to do a bit of a deep dive into the Ninjago bits and pieces. But this is all a build. Now, if you are watching this on the replay because you are bored and have nothing else to do, there is a poll running as normal. And this is all about what you do with your own display. So, quite simply, what do you try and do for your own display / collection? Do you army build a certain type of minifigure? Either it being like an Ninjago snake thing or medieval or Marvel, whatever else. Try and have one of each minifigure is possible. Focus more on the sets than the actual minifigures, or only pick important sets / minifigures from that theme. Nice and simple, nice and easy. So let me know what you do. Let me know how you get on. I have got this thing to build and do. So we are here with it at the moment. We're halfway through bag 5. We'll get this finished this weekend, I'm sure. So I've got to order something this weekend, and then that'll keep me through for a good while. I have got bits and pieces to repair, but I also need to really think of this new giveaway at the moment, because luckily I didn't order anything last Saturday, and now this new giveaway has come out and it's absolutely perfect. Mark, good afternoon to you. So we're 2 stickers down, which isn't too bad. And we are on step 184, page 98 is what we are currently on. John, it's all about the set for John. Well, I've got to put something in there for you, John. I knew that would be the case. So some people prefer minifigures to sets and vice versa. I put a short up before, I don't know, 2-3 hours ago. And it was this. Just this. Just this minifigure. Nothing. To me, nothing. Came with Ninjago. The Ninjago City, the original Ninjago City. Started to do a little bit of research, and this one minifigure is literally worth half the price of the Ninjago City set when that set came out new. It's like, how do they go for a huge amount of money? Not a problem, Mark. If you're just in to say hello, hopefully you enjoy the rest of your day. That is absolutely fine. Everybody that's liked the video so far, thank you very much indeed. But yes, we are in bag number 5. We've got the Blacksmith Kai, and we've got Sis looking good with Woo in this as well. And we were in the process of putting all of this together. Remember, I don't do any building off the stream. So last time I actually touched this was last Sunday. So I had to put all the stuff away to be able to film the bits and pieces. And then I'm just building these live with everybody. So that's where we've got to. And I'm assuming, as always, there'll be a bit that's probably... No, it's a bit falling off. No, that's that bit. We're there then. So we're on step 187 is where we're on, which is good. Oh, Mark, there you go then. That's something you can do when you get time, Mark. It's not a problem. Not a problem at all. But yeah, it's always a bit weird and wonderful. Some of the sets go for more than the figures. Some of the figures go for more than the sets. I think it's always nice to have a balance of different bits and pieces. Obviously, like with your Harry Potter stuff, John, when you've got your massive castle, I'm assuming for you to be complete with that display, you would want everybody represented. So have you got all of those characters or not so much? Because obviously there's a lot of them, isn't there? And I know you've got a lot of the sets. So if you're lucky and you've got them all already, then happy days. I'm only asking these questions. I'm not too sure how deep to go back for some of the original stuff that I obviously missed years and years and years ago. No, you've probably got a load of them like that. Somebody told me the Suicide Squad Harley Quinn that comes with the Apocalypseburg set. That's £100 just by itself, just for that one minifigure. So yeah, it's a very, very weird, very, very weird and wonderful game. There's a lot in with the figs, that is for sure. All right. So don't forget this opens and closes, and we are, by the looks of it, launching that on there There we go. And it looks like we've just got the two outer rooms. So it's a good size. It is a good size. Again, packed to detail like all of the others are. And I will be, between Ninjago sets, if I'm waiting for stuff to come in, I've got plenty of stuff I can repair. And obviously looking at the Spring Lantern Chinese New Year sets that we were looking at yesterday, I've got one of them ready to go on the floor. Bowser's got no arms on. The 8080 needs to be finished as well, by the way. The 8080 aren't there. So, as long as you've got more than John. As long as you've got every single, as long as you've got like a complete thing. But actually, that's the scenario I'm in at the moment. I'm like, well, I've got all these sets, and I know that they don't put all the figures within that set. But my problem is I don't want the vehicles to go with them, so I have to pick up some of the characters if I wanted them. But I guess because it's a bit like Harry Potter, because it's a TV show, you would like to have them all. But with the Harry Potter, you seem to get a good variety of everything in a lot of the sets. Whereas the Ninjago stuff, they will always leave, as they do, obviously, one or two things where you have to get multiple bits. And as we are looking years gone by, I've got to figure out exactly where to start from. So that'll be, I would imagine that will be happening later on this evening, because I have nothing else better to do. So I'm going to do this for a few hours, grab some food, and then go through all 1,000 minifigures that are available for Ninjago, plus the Series 1 sets, and then just see what happens with all of that kind of stuff. Has anybody got the giveaway, by the way? Has anybody who picked up the current giveaway purchase? Because I think that's one of the, I said this yesterday, one of the nicer giveaways I think they've done in quite a while, to be honest, with regards to value and, of course, everything else. No problem, Mark. I've just seen your comment come through. Not a problem. I need to swap that over so I can actually see them differently. Hang on. So with the poll at the moment, it's 50% for only pick important set / minifigures, 25% focus on more of the set than the figs. Other people, nobody else has had one of each minifigure if possible. So I'm tempted to be that person, because I'm happy to have one representation of each character, but they've done like 23 of the same ninja, which I've got no interest in the other 22. So, yeah, got to get my thinking hat on, doing something with this. The walls are very, very, it's amazing, really, because all the detail that's got on that base that we were doing last week, all of that, and then all of a sudden the walls are just huge pieces where they just launch up really, really very quickly. So it's not like they've used the thin layers where you've had to double or triple up all the pieces. I say this all the time with Ninjago, credit where credit's due. They put the right pieces in the right places, and they don't try and take the biscuit with making stuff too small for all the time. So, like, when it comes to these leveling, it soon shoots up, and I think it looks good. Right, let me get that out the way. Let me see what's going on in the world, because nothing seems to be working properly. There we go. There we go. But yeah, after this is done, I think we'll get this done this week, because there's a fair few. I think I'm about halfway through. It's 234 pages and 109, but there'll be bits at the end of that won't necessarily be needed. Oh no, have I done what I think I've done? Yes. Why do I do this all the time? All the time. I need that spun. Where's that even supposed to go? Glitching. That's not very good. Hang on. What can I do with that? I am glitching for Jill. We don't like that. That is no good whatsoever. Hopefully, it should be a little bit better. I've got nothing up in the background. It should be okay. Hopefully. We'll see, Jill. Let us know if it goes wrong, and I'll try and reset something. If not, then well, it is what it is. So hopefully that's going to be the case. All right, 7 votes in for the poll, and 29 for army building. 29% have one of each. 14% say they focus more on minifigures, and then 29% only pick. Yeah, to be fair, I think it's just the weather this way is awful, and I think depending on who has what signal where, we should be okay. But yeah, it's all right. It's all right. What isn't all right is me making an absolute hash. So I've messed everything up just before I finished last week. Standard. So let's break this bit back down, and then where do we get to? Even though they're massive pieces, still an absolute melon. There we go. I must have picked it up and started to build it backwards, which is a skill to behold. I must admit that. I've missed a step. Good possibility that I might have missed a step. Right, that's the bit that was in the wrong place last time. There we go. Magic. No, it's all right. As long as it's sorting itself out, that's all that matters. So what are you building currently, John? And what are you taking apart? Because I don't know if I saw what you said yesterday with regards to your UCS set. I know you said you're in the process of taking apart the Star Wars bits, but I didn't see what set it was. Which way is that actually supposed to go? Build. Oh, it's annoying. I've got to take all these bits back. I'm too high. Hang on. I am too high. Let me just rearrange you. There you go. You can kind of see what's going on. That's the. I know I've got the light on behind too bright, and I can't turn it down, so I'm getting blind basically. So if I can't muster it any longer, I will have to rearrange the furniture just to be able to reach to actually get to where I need to get to, because it's slightly blinding. But that's all the detailing in the wall. So you've got all the bits on the one side and all the bits on the other. So it seems to work. It seems to work okay. And then which way does that then go? That is just go. Okay, there we go. All right, we're back with it. Useless. Right, good. But actually, let me just double check. Have they haven't added Luigi today, have they? I haven't seen, because it would be around about now they would have done it if they did it, but I don't think they have. I wonder when that's going to be shown. No, we've still got those fantastic brick clogs, so they're going to let us sort of contemplate life. I still think John's going to get himself a pair, though. John is all in on the clogs, I do believe. Hello to Shibo. How are we? So how is Shibo getting on? You need to fill me in on that conversation you two were having last night with your castle, by the way. I was intrigued with that. And then all of a sudden, she disappeared. It's like, oh, there we go. So are you going to arrange anything? I don't even know if you two are close to each other or if you're on the opposite side of the world. Not 100% sure. Right, there's a wall starting to come together. You can't. I actually, generally, I can't see. I can't see. I put up with this long enough. I'm going to have to turn that light down. I am going blind. I mean, like, blind. Blind. There we go. Oh, I can see. I've got about 1 million dots in my eyeballs at the moment. I'm just currently rearranging the lights above. There we go. Oh. Technology, eh? Technology. So, Shibo, how's life? Yes, I am talking about it. It was only you and Jane talking about it, wasn't it? So I can't believe I can see. Oh, that was so bright. Right, there we go. Do you want a sneak peek at the old town, Shibo? Because I know John doesn't care about the Ninjago stuff, but I'll give you a sneak peek of the bits. Hang on. Are you ready? There you go. That's what that is starting to look like. So it's loads of work still to do, but yeah, getting there slowly. He says, I can just doing everything I can so I can actually see. All right, charge that up. Get you back in the right position. Be a good idea if I actually got something built today. But yeah, John, you missed out on that last night. You missed out on some full-blown medieval reenactment, something or other going on. I think, from what I can gather, that's what that was going on about. I was intrigued, and then all of a sudden, just conversation finished. That's it, gone. Oh. There we go. Yeah, I think it looks all right. So I'm going to bring the rest of the stuff out in front of the old town. I've got the water going in between the grass of the roller coaster. The only thing I don't know where to place at the moment is actually the actual masters, the elemental masters. I think what I'm going to do is have them placed in front of the temple, the big temple tournament of the sort of master thing, which is the set that I showed off last week. And it's actually, to be fair, it's the one that you all of you wanted me to get first. So I am very, very tempted to pick that up next because I actually think I need it to work out the spacing. And then I might pick up either the bounty if I can make it fit. If not, I'll then get Arkham on double points instead of the bounty and not get the bounty. So yeah, I don't know. So yeah, John, yeah, that's it. It didn't appeal to everybody, but yeah, with regards to pieces and things, it's fantastic. I actually like this sort of architecture though, this sort of old town sort of Japanesey, Chinesey type thing. I quite like it. So it's from that aspect, I don't mind it too much at all. But yeah, I can fully well imagine if you're not into the architecture, then it's definitely not going to be for you. But the temple set that I'm talking about is, I'm going to flop that up on the screen. Hang on. We've got the brick clogs. Just for John, because this is going to be John sat chilling out in these. What a thing they are. Oh dear. So what I am looking at for myself, this is is we're talking about strategy, and it's like it's the same for you, John, as well. Obviously, you've probably got a plan in place with regards to what theme you're working on next. Doesn't matter what brand it is, but what theme it'll be. Now, don't forget, He-Man is coming out soon, the film, which means Mattel might be pushing some new brick things because, of course, they've done Castle Grayskull. I've got it on the floor. The only thing with that, it is biblically overpriced. But if we get it from Amazon, it's like 50% off. So it's really very, very expensive. But I am unsure about this at the moment because of the rearrange of the Old Town. Because the Old Town's now gone in a different place. Because it's now a circle, not a straight line in front of the roller coaster. So the bounty is on the list, and I've got to move quickly on the bounty because, as we know, that is retiring sooner rather than later. And we're going to go over the retiring list next Friday. But the temple that I am talking about is this. I think for the display and with regards to space and what way I go, I have to get this set next over the bounty. So I'm afraid this will be the next one that gets built, and it's 3,489 pieces. So that's going to take me a fair while to do, and then going to work from there. So I've got a list of things, and obviously with things retiring and other little bits and pieces, you just got to be a bit weary of stuff. Because obviously it could go wrong. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it. So everybody's got their own sort of architectural bit. Yeah, because I do like this sort of architecture. I think it looks very pretty. I like seeing it in person as well. But everybody's different. It doesn't really matter. I think actually that's why the modulars are always hit and miss with people, because I think they still do it that way, because I've always assumed, and obviously you guys and girls can correct me if I'm wrong, is I've always assumed that they were in threes. I've always assumed that way back when, like the old fire station went with something else and it went with something else. And if you got three of them in a row, when it got to a corner unit, it would then completely change. And I think they're doing that because I thought it was the corner unit it changed. But now they've done the pub, which is obviously an English pub, and now they've done a European street. I'm like, I don't know. Matt, dude, I see on Horizon. Well, yeah, no pressure. I don't know about that, Shibo, but there is. Now, I don't want to start any rumors, but there might have been a video made up this morning that might have had an expansion in place for this area, which is to my left, of future Ninjago displaying, all while keeping the Marvel DC stuff, because behind me is actually where the Marvel DC stuff could go, potentially. But this is over a long period of time. Long period of time. But we'll see. We'll see. And like I said, this has only come about, and I think John's going to realise this when he focuses on his Ninjago build, his Harry Potter build. When I did the Winter Village, and you started to add in more stuff and sort of make it just that little bit bigger, appreciate it a lot more. There's a lot more detail and stuff that you can put in and all that kind of stuff, rather than just limiting myself to a table for one thing. If I like it. But there is a crossover that I don't know what to do for Kai. Now, Kai is all fire, basically. Do I use the eyeball with the Ninjago stuff? Because in this first season, they do go to a volcano, and guess what? They try and melt something that can only be melted at a certain place because of what it's made from. Or I try and get the old volcano, but I don't know. I don't know if that will work. So I don't know if because I could put that on black base plates with full orange lava all around it and just have an army of villains of Ninjago around it. And that could be our reference of how they always try and have to melt things and do things. I see. Sticking on a theme park perspective, I see you guys over in America are absolutely laughing with the bits and pieces that you've got coming from Disney and Universal at the moment. Universal are going to be opening up 2 Fast and the Furious roller coasters, which is the same technology as they've used in Dubai, which is good fun. So that should be in both of those in California and Orlando will be amazing. And I do believe that they're refurbing one of the Star Wars rides at Disney. So you guys are laughing with actual like theme park stuff. So yeah, you are living the dream with that. But Shubo, the question stands: is do I backtrack some of the older Ninjago minifigures to bulk up the actual display, a bit like what you've done, and I can army build some. So this is what I want to know. This is what I want to know. Oh, I don't know. Because that eyeball at the moment is just exactly the same. What you're seeing now is the Lego Batman movie. That's all I've done. But I could take that off from there, and I could use it with a smaller temple just in front of it, and have it as the backdrop to a Ninjago thing. Which I'm actually more thinking about it, the more tempted I am to do that. It's a bit, I don't know if it's crazy or different. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, that's it. Well, luckily the figures aren't bad, because if you think like there's 1,000 of them for a start, and there's only a handful of really rare characters, which I wouldn't go anywhere near, unless it got tempting, obviously. But like I can pick them up for like what you can with the builder minifigure stuff for your medieval stuff. So you'd be looking at, say, what, $4 to $6 a minifigure, maybe, and then you could really go to town on some of the older bits and make big diorama displays up and all that kind of thing. But I genuinely cannot believe the short that I've put up for that Kai minifigure. People that haven't seen it, what somebody said it was fake. They're like, "Oh, it's completely fake because it's this, and this." I'm like, it's the only minifigure from the movie in a tracksuit. It's the only one that they've ever made. And then other people are going nuts. What people are like over minifigures, I can't quite get my head around. I really can't. It's a different world, John. It's a different world. But you'll experience that, John, because when you start doing all your Harry Potter bits and pieces, and you'll have some really rare Harry Potter stuff with regards to actual figs and things. People are like, "Oh my god, you got this," and you're like, "Yeah, it just came with a set years ago." Yeah, that's what I thought they were. Yeah. So so again, correct me if I'm wrong, John, because it's hard to actually get like proper information over this way. But I saw the park map where they were literally going to close off the section and then go back to the original trilogy. But what are they doing with the Falcon ride? Because they've got the Falcon ride, haven't they? They've opened up that ride at a newer park, and from what I could gather, they've put in different technology in the one, and they've shut the other one down to refurb it because it keep breaking down. But I can't remember if it was California Disney or Florida, which is closing and having the refurb. So if you know, let us know. Good afternoon, Brick Together, or morning, should I say. So good morning to you. Of course, it's early doors with you guys and girls over there at the moment. So hopefully everybody is fit and well, and you are just going to be chilling out today. And then is it live stream for you again tomorrow, Bricks Together, or you got another one this evening? And a very big fan of your shelf backdrop cloud. That was very, very, very impressive. Yeah, very, very impressive. Got to have words with your co-host though, because I stopped my stream on purpose to make sure that we could go over to yours smack on time, and the people you're doing the live stream with were stuck in traffic. I was like, I could have finished the bag I was on. It's like, darn, never mind. Such is life. But yeah, we're talking theme park news because I've got that's my massive thing that I really do enjoy, and hence this is all got affiliations to theme park stuff. So every set I buy for a reason is linked to there or thereabouts theme park bits. That's why I got all the roller coasters and all that kind of thing. And that's why I could get away the Ghostbuster Firehouse, because it is a laser shooter in Dubai. So you can't go wrong with that at all. But no, that was your shelf brick together. It was definitely worth the effort on all of that. And yeah, you smashed it. It's a really nice, clean, very nice, clean backdrop. So yeah, it looks really smart, that. Really very, very smart. Right, we are doing things. So this is now getting sketchy to pick up. But again, packed to detail. It's easy enough to put together. So it's got massive walls and lots of detailing on the floor. Nice and simple. Nice and simple. Monday. What's Monday? Oh, hang on. Whoop. Yep, we're building the DeLorean, the time machine, with our friends from Australia. Yes, of course. I read the bottom one before at the top. So yeah, they're miles ahead, aren't they, the Australians? So Monday morning for them, will it be? I'm trying to think, how far ahead are they? Because it's different for us. Because obviously, when I do the countdown live streams, I can obviously see the Australians, and they're a few hours ahead of us. So I wonder what time they'll be for your stream. But I'll be checking that out tomorrow, which will be nice and exciting. Right. So it is Florida that they're doing. It seems to be having a massive battle off in Florida at the moment, because the Rip It Rocket ride thing has now completely been demolished from Universal. And obviously that is going to be the Fast and the Furious ride, because I've read that they are finally shutting down the disgrace of the supercharged bit, which has the most beautiful queue line. Then you get on a bus and it's just an absolute steaming pile of turd. That is awful. But that's all going, and it's all going to link in, because everybody thought it was going to be a Ghostbusters ride, didn't they? But they're not doing that. So that's going to be all extension for it. But I was very, very lucky, because I was at Universal Hollywood when they broke ground on the new roller coaster, and you could see how big this thing was going to be. And obviously the Hollywood is massive levels. So if it's going to be anything like that in Florida, Disney are definitely going to have to. They've got massive competition at the moment with regards to that kind of stuff. Oh, 13, 14 hours. There we go. Yeah, it's going to be. Yeah, it's amazing with all the different time differences and things like that. And don't forget, if they are a Star Trek fan in Australia, they can still get that. They can still get the giveaway with the Enterprise, so you can push the buttons for that as well. You can ask them if they've actually picked one of those up or not, because the fact that they can still think they can still get it is pretty impressive, to be quite honest. Right, let's have a quick look at the poll and see what is going on. Right, let's have a look. Right, so we are 10 votes in at the moment. Army build minifigures, 20%, one of each minifigure if possible, 30%. You've got 10% on focus more on sets and figs. Only pick up important sets and minifigures. Yeah, that's it. Everybody's got their own. It's the main thing. Everybody's got their own opinion, haven't they? So we're either 14, 13 or 18. They're well ahead then, aren't they? So as long as they're over 12, so it's going to be their afternoon. Oh, they're morning, because you're doing it evening, aren't you? So it's either morning or lunchtime for them. There we go. Yeah, because your 2 p.m. is my 7. Yeah, because we're 5 hours difference at the moment. So if you go at 2, it's 7 o'clock for us. Because when you go late, it's super early in the morning for me. Yes. See, all of this nonsense. It's almost like there's a world out there, isn't there? And everybody's on different time zones and everything like that. Who would have known? Who would have known that there's different people in different parts of the world doing different things? Right. But this is coming together nicely. Very, very nice. Oh, that's bag 6. Not bag 5. That was bag 6. Oh, that's a surprise. There we go then. I mean, I'm even further ahead than I thought I was. Not too bad at all. Right, this is concerning because I've got plenty of pieces that I shouldn't have. Yeah, probably. I would imagine that it's huge, Australia, isn't it? Huge. Yeah, I would imagine so. It is a very, very big place. Largest Lego store in the world as well, in case anybody cared about that fact. So they've got the largest in the world, and Billund is now the largest in Europe. So in case you're wondering where to travel and things to get and things to do, they're the places to go if you want big sets, exclusive sets, and other stuff like that, because obviously it's all very, 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 very impressive. I have got so many spare little pieces that I don't really think I should have, but I'm actually looking at it going, no, they are just spare. That's strange. I'll use them at the end then. It's anything with the like the difference between the Ninjago stuff to the massive slice of cheese behind me is you didn't get any spare pieces with that. And then with this, they're like, oh, I have 30 spare pieces because you don't know what you're doing. I'm like, yeah, fair enough. That is true. What is that bit? Yeah, they're all on there. They are all on there. Right, weapons. Yeah. I'm going to push them to one side and just figure that out later. Honestly, bricks together, they are a thing of absolute beauty. Apparently, just first in the queue, these absolute bad boys. Let's forget looking at this thing. Let's get straight on to the serious matter in hand. And the price still hasn't changed. So as it stands at the moment, $199 or £199, which is about $280. They are worth, I think, every penny. I think Croc is going to be making millions from these. I can see people walking in the Lego store with them. I think they're going to be really easy to drive in as well. I mean, they look really comfortable, don't they? Where's the photo? I mean, don't they look... They don't look oversized whatsoever, do they? They look just in proportion that you could just go for a nice run. And I think you would be well away with them. So... well, in all fairness, it's obviously it's Croc doing it for the Lego group. But even still, it's like... What? Why? They'll sell. They will sell, but they are huge. And this is the photo. No disrespect to the model, but does not look happy in them. Oh, that's the first thing I saw. I was like, that kind of is almost supposed to be like a shot like this, so they could see. But don't forget, you get your non-exclusive minifigure with non-exclusive parts that you can add to your collection. So I can see people getting them, though. I actually can see people getting them. And as much as we joke, they are going to sell out, I think, which is scary. And because we did a deep dive into it last night, because John was really interested in it, we have read that it's a press release from the Lego Group and Croc. It's a multi-year deal, and that's just one of many things that they're going to be doing. So it is what it is with that. So yeah. Well, I wonder if they've given us a bit of an Easter egg, and the colours are the 4 colours they give with the minifigure. So I think that's it. But with regards to Croc, I think Croc they've done stuff with everybody, haven't they? For Crocs, they've done limited edition stuff with all sorts of other things in the past. So it's just Croc, I think, are cashing in because, of course, we're not going to see them really on the Lego website because that sort of just disappear. And it's exactly the same as the Nike shoes and the Adidas stuff. They just make you aware. But if you go into the Croc website, they're all over it. So yeah, it's I guess it's a Croc product with Lego on it, but it's still going to sell out. It's still going to sell out. So yeah, it's scary. It's scary. But I mean, let's be honest. I was saying yesterday, like I just get standard trainers, nothing fancy, nothing exciting. And I think a standard pair of trainers now, like you can't really go around too much about it. In pounds, it's anywhere between say 35 to say £60, depending on brand or whatever else like that. So if they were what 80, 100, you would have gone, all right, there's your Lego tax. But that's just Croc pricing that. That's the thing. It's Croc and Lego. Croc with Lego on top. Mad. Absolute nuts. But this character looks fantastic. There you go. Check that out. So again, full print on these all the time, front and back. Can't go wrong. Nice print on the back. And then you've got a dual face print. So again, all the minifigures from these are great. Absolutely. Well, I think the scary thing is the giveaway for the Pokemon and just what that's actually selling for. It's like, why? You're going to be able to get it midnight. It's 27th of Feb, isn't it? So you're going to be able to get that on the 27th of Feb. You're going to be able to get that elsewhere. It's just, like it or not, they're a juggernaut. They are a juggernaut of a company, and they are massive worldwide. And again, we were talking about this yesterday with regards to like seasonal sets or regional Lego sets. It's not always going to be everybody's cup of tea, but you just know that they will. They're just going to shift the units, aren't they? They're just going to shift the units. I still think it was I thought it was going to be a bit of a risk with the Pokemon lineup that they did. And some of you are Pokemon fans. It was said last night that the new oh god, what is it? The Pokemon Center on the Insiders that goes live in a few days. I think deep down, John loves that modular. I think John is gonna see it and go, actually, no, I need that. I need that in my life. So John's gonna be like, no, I'm sorry, it's modular there's ever been. So I think that's gonna be the colours, John. So you can get yourself a nice pink or black or white pair. But what's it under? What's it under? So you've got early access to the new flowers that are coming out. Great rewards. So this is not too far away now. So just in case any of you are Pokemon fans, this is not too far away. Just got a tiny Lego box delivery from my Wednesday order. They cancelled the 2 Bricklink sets and sent me an Ninjago hat and keychain with delivery fees. I brought my first Star Wars product. Hang on, Chivo. So you've gone from having a bit of a disaster with the Bricklink designer program, which that's always going to be hit and miss, isn't it? Because we all knew that there was literally like 5 of those sets available. But what have you done? And sort of got depressed and bought yourself some Star Wars stuff? Or you got yourself a death slice, have you? Right, let's get rid of that. There we go. Brick Together said we picked up the Pixie and the New City Tractor and see those. You've got to be honest, they're strong sets, aren't they? The new Lego City line are great, and I'm assuming for you guys and girls over in the States that you can pick up. They're already in a sale. Are you already getting money knocked off them, or did you get it from the actual Lego store? Because we're already in our first batch of sales for 2026, and all of them were in a sale. You get like say £3-4 knocked off. So you have like 3 waves, and the third sale is the biggest. So that's again why the pricing difference between us and you is huge. Because we just wait, goes into a sale, and then it's not that bad. So but yeah, I like the new tractor. That's a beautiful blue one, isn't it? And then the taxi obviously is for the airport. So that airport tickled me a little bit. I was like, ooh, I don't know if I could have if I could use that airport in my Ninjago display if they actually got on a plane, but I don't think they do, so I can't. If they did, then I would have actually got that, because it just reminds me of Die Hard. That would have been my Die Hard reference. That would have been because they're never going to make the tower, are they? So the closest thing you're ever going to get to Die Hard is either a water gallon jug thing in a park, or you got the taxi. So you got the taxi from Die Hard 3, and I'll have the airport from Die Hard 2. There we go. Between us, we are now representing the Die Hard franchise. What is that? So even with all the Ninjago sets, like, you get the big clear head pieces for like the water, and then you just launch them in the big barrel. So yeah, the parts usage on these are very, very good. So I've got the last lot of Lego City stuff I got was like all these cranes and things. This is obviously, I got it in sale, luckily. But like this thing is huge. So this takes up a well over a base plate. So if you think what this went into in a sale for the Lego City things, they're really very, very good value. So yeah, because they've got the cement mixer, which I'm tempted about. Jay's using me as a toilet break again. Thank you very much indeed, Jay. Hopefully you are good. Are you winning with your project toilet as well? So we've got cup of teas. We've got kettles, teapots, and cups. And it is tea, because it's traveller's tea is what they use. And then it opens up a portal, and off they go. Oh, look at you two. Oh, you're having a toilet talk. I should call it that, actually, shouldn't I? Toilet talk live. There we go. So you could sit in cubicles side by side with each other and start tooting to the tune. Nicely done. 6 hours into the Star Wars display. Can't go wrong with that. Can't go wrong with that. So yeah, John is still thrilled by the sounds of it, of this new modular. I suppose though, John, if you spoke to the designer, they would just say, well, we went up. That would be their thing, wouldn't it? We went up and we gave you more pieces. That's all they're going to say. That's it. That's all it is. They went up instead of going out, and they made it squishy in the middle. So you know what? They'll have a reason. Well, they'll have an excuse, not a reason. Jay's 6 hours into the Star Wars display. He's nearly there, so he is just squatting down and having a break, which is nice. Take it easy, Bricks Together. You look after yourself. Enjoy work best you can. And obviously, if any of you guys are by the storms that are coming through, obviously we're getting the news through that it's going to be an extremely cold winter, and I've seen the videos of the generators and stuff like that. Hopefully all of you guys and girls are safe and sound, and you're not going to get hit by this storm that's coming in, because it sounds like it's going to be like the one that hit Texas a few years ago, and that was awful. So yeah, we definitely haven't got those. We haven't got those worries at the moment. She was gone very quiet after the delivery. I want to know what this Star Wars product was. You can't do this, Shibo. You can't give us some breaking news that you've ordered your first ever secret Star Wars stash set and then say absolutely sod all. DJI, hello, how are we? Good afternoon to you. So in case anybody cares, we're doing a double live stream today. So we're doing a build now, and then I'm doing a full-blown deep dive later on with the fancy software relating for all of the Ninjago first series. I'm looking at the older minifigures, and I'm going to start to price things up and make a list, and it might get quite expensive. So, and I am tempted to crumble for the big Ninjago temple now because I want the giveaway. And I actually was going to ask Jay to use his mathematical brain, but actually, I don't think there's a need because I don't think you can get the temple anywhere else. So yeah, I don't know. Well, I tell you what, John. What you should do is if you get yourself on the what is it? What are they actually called? The people that are affiliated that go to the Lego house and they always gasp when they see new sets. What is that? What are they? That's so bad. I can't remember what they are. You know who I mean? You should just go over there and knock on the door and be like, "Oi!" When they have a designers meeting, you could just be blunt and be like, "Well, why is this not as good as last year?" Or actually, for you, it probably is better than the pub last year. So, but if you were there for the pub, there'd have been steam coming out your ears. Apparently, Sheba was on the phone. So we've got Jay on the toilet, John on the toilet, Sheba on the phone, and DJI. I'm not a native English speaker. So I'm literally just talking to myself, which is great. I knew that was coming. I knew it. I can't actually remember the technical term. I can't actually remember what it is. I set myself up for that. So yeah, that's fair enough. Possibly. But I will be doing we're going to be doing a double live this evening. So this will be on for another hour or so. Because what are we now? We're coming up to we're 23. We're 20 to 5. So this will finish at about 6, half 6 UK time. And then we will go into 8 p.m. like we did last night, but just do a deep dive into the Ninjago stuff like we did last night with the Chinese New Year. So that is the plan of attack. There we go. So it's one or the other, shills or ambassador. I knew it was a technical thing. I could not remember what it was. An ambassador from the Lego group. Right, so at the moment we're 13 votes in. It's 31% for army build minifigures, 23% for have one of each minifigure if possible. So more representation in your collection. Then you've got focus more on sets than figures. Only pick important sets / minifigures. So there you go. They're starting to spread now, which is good. So yeah, I need to do quite a bit of research into what I am going to currently be doing. Sat here looking at what I can see, I can just visualize this getting much bigger because it's just a beautiful line all the way through. Yeah, so I actually I know it sounds really crazy, but I've actually got the opportunity to make it completely different. And this section could be my live stream section, and this table could be part of the display. So I could actually have a permanent table in the middle, but have it as part of the display. So I could make like a huge square. So I could literally make a huge square for Ninjago this way, and then this way is another square. Could be all Marvel and Lord of the Rings. So I've got loads of options that I can do. And as there's so many of you on a toilet break, I will show you. So where I am at the moment, I'm in the middle of the room. So where this table is, look, it comes straight across. So I could have this table all as a theme, and it goes off that way. And then that then takes us all the way around to the Ninjago stuff, which just keeps going round and round and round and round and round and round. So that's what I'm currently looking at the moment. That kind of thing. So yeah, it doesn't look too. There we go. That's what we want. It doesn't look too bad. So yeah, I just want to carry on with that coming all the way around, which would be nice if at all possible. But we can apply for John to be a Lego ambassador. I think he'll be great at that. Oh, there we go. Brick Together's back. I tune back in. Hello. Well, it's potential. It's not really big maneuvers, though. It's just, do I rearrange the room and keep this table as a permanent table and make a different streaming area? Because do I, basically behind me, how can I lean? That way? That way. There's nothing behind me there in front of that yellow wall. So do I have that as my streaming section, and then everything behind me will then actually be on show? So it's like it gives a different backdrop. But then if I did that, I could either keep this table here and expand, or just take it out, because I'm gonna have to crawl underneath the table every single time, which is a bit of a pain in the backside. But I've got options at the moment where I can actually stream from. So this works okay. I can just, when I'm not streaming and not building, and I want to film the videos, I can just take this table down and we're good. But if I brought it back behind me, the only thing that you wouldn't see would obviously be that massive slice of whatever, which, let's be honest, nobody cares about, do they? And then you would just see the whole room behind me. Whereas at the moment, you're only seeing like, well, it doesn't really make a difference. Because if I sat on the other side of the table, you'd have the Ninjago as a backdrop. So I could just have this in the middle and not on each side. But I don't want to get too close to the loft hatch, because I end up falling down midstream. You going big on Pokemon? I think that's a question to everybody. So who's going big on Pokemon then? What's this? So she was very good at languages. Jay says full room of maneuvers. Bricks Together is back. I think John should be well, you've got options, haven't you? You because don't forget, with all jokes aside, with the ambassador stuff, if you apply to be an ambassador, especially with the Lego group, you can't be affiliated with another brand, which, so like Jay wasn't here when I said it before. The Mattel He-Man film, it's not the Mattel, but the He-Man film is coming out this year. The trailer's already gone live, hasn't it? And Mattel should jump all over that with licensing. So if somebody all of a sudden was like, oh, I want a Castle Grayskull, and I want this, and I want that, and I want all the characters from the new He-Man movie, if that was my backdrop, and then I applied for the Ambassador Network, I'd never get in anyway because I'm not good enough, but they would probably say, well, you'd have to not have that on show, and we don't want you to be affiliated with other brands. So it's which I think is a bit harsh, because I personally, what I would like to do is I would like to do a direct comparison of the Winter Village stuff, for example. I've got all of the Lego stuff. So I got other winter brands, a bit like your one that you got. I would put that up against a Bricklink set, and I think that would make a really interesting comparison. But that would be a negative mark for you trying to be an ambassador. So it's like, it's just tough. It's just tough. Yeah, it's there you go, DJ. So I'm glad you're enjoying it. That's the main thing. Because don't forget, it's just a reset. So series one, you've understood what's happened. There'll be references from the last 15 years that will just go over your head. But then once you've seen the next three, you could just go back to the beginning and carry on watching it. But the new Rising Dragon is very, very, very good. It is very good. There we go. So Jay says the film merch for Masters of the Universe will be shown in a few weeks at the Toy Fair, because it's Leto, isn't it? That is Skeletor. And oh god, I can visualize the actress's name. Oh, she was the lady that's in Deadpool. She's the wife of Deadpool. She's in the film as well. There's loads of actors and actresses in it, but the trailer's fantastic. But it's it's one of those, isn't it? Yeah, it's true. Bricks Together. That is true. I like watching Brixie. Jang as well is another big one, because you've got them all over there, really, like all of the bigger ones. But like I've always said, if I ever, and I'm never going to, ever had the opportunity to do anything with the Lego group, I actually wouldn't do the sets. I'd actually like to do the theme parks. And I would like to be able to go to all the theme parks around the world and do a comparison of park to park with the hotel rooms and everything, because I think it's important on a world scale what that's like. And I started to do that in like 23. So I managed to do America, Billund, Florida, and all the other different places like that. But it's just so expensive. It's like it's not worth it. It's just too much money. So So I don't actually know who, because I know there's a lot of the LAN keeps changing, don't they? So I don't know, because at one point there was a limit that they could put on, and then it changed, I do believe. And of course, like I said, I'm not affiliated with it, so but because I would think I'm out of everybody that's in the chat gone to the Lego house the most, let alone possibly the only one that's gone there. Because I used to go there 4 times a year. They had a LAN plaque up in the masterpiece, the master gallery, and it had up there the exact number of LAN members, and this was in probably 23, 24, and then all of a sudden it just seemed to have doubled. It's like all of a sudden it just exploded with new people. I was like, oh, right, okay. Well, to be fair, I mean, me and Jay's had this conversation. I don't know how many they can actually have in each area. So I would think that they're trying to get more worldwide, I would think. I don't know if it goes by your target audience or if it goes by where you're actually located. Because as it stands, there's probably almost double digits in the UK. So why would they have more than 10, for example, for the UK? Because it'd just be saturating the market for no reason. Whereas if they try and get it over further afield or do bits and pieces with that, and of course then you're competing against people that have huge followings and everything else. It does chop and change, but I've never read into all the ins and outs of everything. The cheeky monkey has who was in the chat last night is Jay's better half. Yes, I agree with that. Jay already has all the characters, but I'm sure they're going to be a different shade, Jay, aren't they? And Skeletor is already looking different with his for the trailer. So they're going to do a movie, one of them. So Jay's going to have to get them all again, Kiara. So yeah, it's there's some good ones. Yeah, so Brixie's good, Alex is good. Oh God, Jay, who's the one that I like? Write it down for me. I can't pronounce his name. Is it Tiago? Bugger. He is somebody that used to design the Lego sets for the Lego group and then stopped and moved away. But he did the ship in the bottle. He did all of those, and he's brutally honest. Brutally honest. Thaigo is how I think his name is. He's also got an Easter egg in the haunted house. They put a graveyard with TC written on it, which was an Easter egg of him leaving the actual Lego group. So he's designed incredible Lego sets, but when he gets sent the sets, he's just like, this is rubbish or this is fantastic, and he looks at it from a build experience. There we go. Yeah, that's who it is. It's the full name though. I can't remember. Let's have a look. Hang on. Let's see. So I can find him. Tiago. There he is. I got him. I've got him. So if you want like proper, really, they're quick reviews as well. He's got a fantastic form pieces. Oh, I am subscribed, but there we go. We'll do that then. So this is him. But yeah, it gets huge numbers. Look, 23,000 on one. Talked about the smart brick because he went to that. It's 106,000 on that. See, if he's not happy with it, he's not happy with it, and he just let you know. But yeah, he gets everything. So if you want just quick, short, sharp bits, and the amazing thing is like the Pac-Man, he will talk about how they actually managed to get it, and he was amazed by the vending because he was trying to work out how the pieces worked for the vending machine not to go through. So he's very, very, very good, and he'll say it how it is as well. He's not sort of reading off a sheet, shall we say? So yeah, there is a few, but they're all dotted differently around the world. But yeah, there is some good ones. There is some good ones, that's for sure. No, he's normally the one that I go to for a lot of the sets, because he'll do a huge set in like maybe 15 minutes, and he covers almost more like the design problems as well, which is quite interesting, because obviously he used to design it, so he would kind of say like, oh, I could imagine if the budget was there, it probably would have been done like this, this, and this, like it was in this, this, and this. You start looking at it from a different perspective, a bit like how the Star Trek interview was, when they were saying about all the bits and pieces that were going on with all the bits and pieces that were going on with that. So yeah, get it in the chat. Who likes to listen to who, what, when, and why, and show them some love. If they work hard enough, you can't say anything else. They do work. They do work hard enough. So. It's amazing to think how often they do go to the Lego house and all those different places. I'm assuming flights and things are covered and blah blah blah. So that's pretty cool. And don't forget, Jay is also Hasbro royalty, because Jay has done all of that for Hasbro. So with regards to the 6-inch and the 12-inch and all the other inches that come along with it, Jay collects them all. And he has been affiliated and associated with that aspect, because don't forget, Lego's just a side hustle. Oh, what a cool little... Oh, that's very clever. So there you go. Just plonked that bit in. And you can see that you've got one of the bits going one way and one of the bits going upside down. It pins it all together, which is a pretty cool thing. There's the link. There we go. So Hasbro Marvel interview link. So if you want to see the official interview from Jay to the Marvel designers, and obviously Hasbro this is mega American company. Jay was there at Comic-Con. So he was basically as close to an ambassador for that weekend with regards to the press release, press interviews, and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, all good sexy fun with that. Ooh, red, bit of red. There you go, Jay. A little bit of a plug. We don't mind that. We don't mind that. Okay. Where are they going with these? Got a ram a pin in. This is where I just hope I've not missed a bit. Oh, clever. Right, adding a bit of leafage. So I know Jay's got thousands, and I mean thousands and thousands of figures with regards to all sorts of themes, but I know I can answer that question for him. He's only just got down the rabbit hole of Star Trek because he didn't want to go down the rabbit hole too deep. So yeah, it's 2004 plus. How many of them do you think you've got, Jay? Because you got scary amount, didn't you? But you got everything from Hot Toys all the way through and down to just Hasbro, Mattel, that kind of thing. So it's scary. It's not a room collection. It is literally a house collection, is what it's turning into. It's extremely difficult to actually fathom how bigger a collection it actually is. And all on display, mind, ish, give or take a couple of hundred, that might be in a box. So, well, Jay, if you're about later, like I said, I'm going live on the fancier software. So if you wanted to do a quick show and tell of any of these bits and pieces, while you're in between maneuvers, then you can just jump on for 10 minutes while I'm doing a Ninjago research, and you can show some of them off if you wanted to. Because let's be honest, there's a huge crossover between action figure collecting and construction sets. But it just seems to be it's quite toxic when it's crossover between construction set and construction set. I've never understood that. It's like it just beggars belief. Minifigure Chronics 66. How are we? Whee! There we go. Glad. That's it. Up to 100 subs. Can't go wrong with that. See, it takes time. It's consistency. It takes time. And it just, it is what it is. And you got more subs than I have put bricks together on this set as well. So congratulations on that. So I've just managed to add in, again, look at the detailing on that. Just a couple more trees and everything. This is just as detailed as the old town. So this has put me down a massive rabbit hole now. Massive rabbit hole. Knew it was going to. I've done my best to avoid this scale of set for years and years. And now here we are. Here we are doing this. Ouch. Yeah, I'm glad everything's good, minifig. Hopefully you're all right. No, I'm glad it's working for you. That's the main thing. Yeah, it's a. Oh God, you got star. Yeah, I could list it out so Jay didn't have to type it all. But like, if for example we stay on topic with He-Man, there's hundreds of He-Man in different bits and pieces. Then you've got all of the other lines that you could possibly think of, Mando, all the really expensive lines. But you could just go with 6-inch stuff like Mezco, Mattel, Hasbro, all of those. There's thousands. Yeah, all good this way. Just plonking on. Yeah, it's a nice set, this actually. I'm quite surprised how it just managed to come back into stock before, well, with the double points, and this is actually the reason why I got this set. The minifigure No Walking, and don't forget this is from the first series where the snake comes through, and there's a lot of bits and pieces with this. So yeah, it's a pretty cool looking thing, and that will sit just on there. Magic. Well, so far I've not fluffed it up, so we're all right. But there we go. All good, sexy fun. Definitely glad I was paying attention. I actually built the frame of the house, because the amount of stuff you're sticking onto the outer walls now, if that went wrong, that would have been very, 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 very painful. I'm convinced I'm missing pages. Because I can't have these pieces as spare. I mean, I know they're kind, but there's just no way. Right, series bag 7. I have got 3 bits in my hand. I'm looking for green and a double. Every single page, anything green. No. Ah, last one. No jokes. Last page was stuck together. There we go. So the last 2 pages were stuck together. Enjoy the dog walk. Hopefully stay warm. Don't get, depending on where you are in the world, don't get soaked or freezing cold. So take it easy. Enjoy yourself. Right, that's got to go on that bit. That's another one. That'll go up on that bit. So that's piece number 2. That's the 3rd bit, which is number 3. Magic. So again, that's even more layering on the outside. You can do a lot of building technique. Oh, unlucky. Unlucky. You got a fighter in the UFC tonight, haven't you? Paddy's fighting tonight, I think it's tonight. So I'm assuming you're going to be hearing all the news about around by Liverpool tomorrow. Okay, bricks together, not a problem. Drive safe. Drive safe, and yeah, hopefully, again, weather-wise and stuff, it's not too horrific and horrendous and vile and everything else like that. Yeah, that's it. I thought that'd be the case. Right, well, we'll find out in the morning, won't we? Enjoy the dog walk. Don't put it off any longer. Otherwise, it'll be dark and it will start raining by the time you've actually got the lead on. Right, that's some more bits. Right, doing the bag. Exciting. Another bag. Bag 8. Bag number 8. Well, actually, that's not quite true, John. All of this is near enough all the spare pieces from the Old Town and this. Ninjago, they give you tons of spare pieces. It's just the Star Wars and IP stuff that they don't. So I've got all of these, look. Hang on. Just drop some on the floor. But I've got what? Translucent orange, another translucent orange, another translucent orange. All of these, that's just from today. That's just from this stream. Because I've got spare cups, spare everything. I think, to be honest, I'm spoiled with it. That's it. I'm spoiled with these. So, like I said, doing this, that massive monstrosity up top, I was like, there's nothing. There was no, almost like every bag, there was no spare piece. And I got a spare piece. And I was like, I think I've missed it. Whereas with this, I'm looking at it going, well, there's another spare trophy. I've got 2 more spare katanas. And there's a 3rd one in there. So I can't fit that in. I've got more flames if I wanted to add flames to the fire. It's like, it's nuts. Oh, well, no. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Well, it shouldn't be any bigger. Well, it shouldn't be any bigger. That is a basic rule of thumb. Unless they put it in the wrong bag. And obviously, we've all had that, haven't we? But with the Ninjago, you get a lot of spare weaponry. You do get a lot of spare weaponry with that. But yeah, you get tons of, with the Ninjago stuff, tons and tons of smaller ones. Right, so hang on. Waiting on a major ice. So Virginia's, yeah, so this is what I was talking about before, that it did look like there was a huge amount of snow coming through. So I'm just keep us up to date, basically. Obviously, there's absolutely sod all I can do my end to help. But keep us up to date so I know you're all fit and healthy. And you don't have to start melting plastic just to try and keep yourself warm. Because I've seen all the queues and stuff with people trying to get generators, and yeah, it's not looking good. Not looking good for you, is it? So yeah, I've got Pumpkin up here. Pumpkin is sort of just chilling out, to be fair. She was in that box. She's just in front of me now, looking at me like, what you doing? I sometimes get that glare, like, what you doing? So Shibo's in trouble. John's in trouble. Brick Together is just cruising about with his earbuds, or her earbuds, because I don't know if it's Mr. or Mrs. Brick Together. That confused the bejesus out of me last week when I was speaking to your good lady. I was like, oh yeah. Yellow, how are we? Good evening to you. Good evening, afternoon. Hopefully everything is good with you. Yeah, we go back. There we go, magic. So bag 8. Bag number 8. I've been hearing about this new milk craze. What a campaign that is as well. But yes, make sure you have just got the basics. I'm assuming I don't know if you have beans over there. Do you have a massive fetish for baked beans? That's the go-to panic for over here. Tinned baked beans, big bits of cheese, and water is what people tend to go for. So because how long was Texas down for? A couple of years back. They were a couple of weeks, weren't they? Yeah, that's it, John. Yeah, that's it. You're right. If you've got anything bigger than a single stud, you've screwed it. So, but yeah, it's just bizarre with the Star Wars slice. No spare pieces, no nothing. And then with this, I'm getting tons and tons and tons. Yeah, well, that's what threw me, Royal, because last week Brandy was speaking, and obviously it was Miss Brick together, and somebody else had commented at the start, and I thought it was just the same person, and then that's where I was like, oh, it's really confusing when people change their name or change their profile picture like between streams, and then obviously Sean changed it and not realised it took 2 weeks, so he's still stuck with everything. Because you were in that stream in the background last Sunday. So that threw me. It took me ages to figure that out because it was another person who jumped in, and they jumped in again early doors today as well. Who was it? Oh, it was Jill. Jill popped in, and I think it was Jill last time. And then I thought Jill had changed her name, and it wasn't. It was Brandy. I was like, there we go. So, yeah, look at that. We're learning the technology and the ways, aren't we? Simple as that. Right, so as I'm looking at this, let's have a look-see. So, poll-wise, 14% in, 43% only important sets of minifigures, 29% army build. So, army building is now in second place. 21% for have something of a representation of everything. And then 7% is focused more on sets than figs. There we go. Oh, you got pork and beans. Oh, we do random nonsense over here, though, John. It's like you could get baked beans, and then you can get baked bean sausage in baked beans. But then they did all sorts of other really vile things as well. So that I don't understand. They do that from time to time. So you can. I don't know if we might be able to. I guess it's not actual pork, because it's the same sort of material. Because you get sausage and beans, we can get them over here as well. But you also get other nastiness as well. But crisps, yes. What flavour? Flavour for crisps. That's another thing that we have differently, because we've got crisps and chips and fries, whereas chips are crisps, and then you've got fries. So they're all different because it's all different slice of cuts, isn't it, for the potato? So depending on where you are in the world, DJ, that kind of might make that means difference for different things. So favorite flavor, quite fond of the cheese and onion, I would say. Yeah, I would say cheese and onion. I think cheese and onion chicken, or cheese and onion ready salted chicken. They'll be my 3 go-to ones. I haven't had chicken actually ones in ages. So in case people from around the world are wondering what we're going on about. Just for the sake of everybody else, in case you have no idea what we're going on about, this is the conversation that me and John are having. So the go-to baked beans, there they are. You can actually eat these cold out of the tin as well. And that's what they look like, all fancy la-di-da, warm on a bit of toast. There's your high protein, 1 of 5 a day as well. So go away. Yeah, that's it from Tesco. And you've got all sorts of other ones that you can go for. Look, see, you've got new hoops. You've got the no added sugar now. We've got all sorts of weird, and we've got the spaghetti. Yeah, so these you can just have cold if you wanted to, but they just taste weird cold. So I don't recommend having them. But yeah, there you go. It is. It's vile. Brick together. It is vile. They're not very nice at all. But you can have them. So if you actually ran out of gas, you could eat them, and it's fine. But you put a little bit of cheese in those baked beans, and they're absolutely fine. They literally just don't taste of much, to be honest. They just got a bit of tomato sauce, and that's it. So yeah, they're not too bad. But of course, the ingredients across the pond are completely different, as we know. So we know that's now a thing where it's been questioned a little bit more. So that's why all of you have more exotic flavors than us for everything, like everything. Like you've got all of the different flavored drinks and all sorts of stuff that we don't get. We don't get over here. So it's all different with regards to different bits and pieces and how things taste. Of course, chocolate is different as well because how you have to transport it over such a long distance. It doesn't have the same chemical in that we've got it over here. So obviously ours is more milk based. You have something different, which I know what it is, but I'm not going to say what it is out loud in case it puts people off eating it. Let's see, you can have it with rice. You can have whatever you want. Yeah, that's it. So as long as you've got, as long as you've got some bits and pieces like wraps would be good as well. You can have some wraps. Harry Potter. Yeah, that's it. You just got to watch Harry Potter, and they'll let you know exactly what we're like with regards to eating everything. Honestly, Brick together, my taste buds. I'm so bland with food. So bland with food. So some people, more than likely, yes, but no, me, dreadful. So if it's, I mean, like Sean, for example, he will go on. Don't forget, it was this time last week. He was holding on for dear life after he's just had an Indian, and he was destroying his U bend in his toilet. So some people love the spicy stuff, and they do actually try and make things with flavor. I am the worst person for food. Jay can back me up on that. It has to be bland and boring. Yeah, really, really bad when it comes to food. What, the chocolate? Yeah, well, we know it is. We know it is. But there's a reason for it though, and it's not to be helped. So the Americans can't do anything about their chocolate. It's not fair. So it's an unfair comparison of reasoning why. But yeah, it does taste different. Yeah, just different chemical mix up. That's what it is. That's all it's to do with. Yeah. Well, we don't have to distribute it as far as them, so it's all right. So ours is completely different, but some of the stuff's exactly the same. That's the other amazing thing. So certain foods are the same. I mean, our barbecues, let's be honest, are pants. We don't do barbecues like the Americans. That's for sure. That is definitely for sure. But oh, right. Okay. There you go. See, just all weird and wonderful exotic foods coming from John. So yeah, it's different because I had the privilege of going over to Nashville, and I went down to Dollywood and had traditional portion sized food, literally 10 minutes from Dollywood. Oh god, some of that was amazing, but the portion sizes were huge. Huge. Well, yeah, yes, it. I mean, without actually going into it too much, Brick together. Obviously, it is. We know that. So, I've been lucky enough to go over to the States, and I said it the other day. Like, we've got a daily allowance guide, so like sugar in a bottle of Coke, for example, it has to be, say, 12% of your daily allowance. I think if I'm right, it's Mountain Dew. If you look at the back of a Mountain Dew, it's like 120% of your daily allowance in one 500ml bottle. Well, over here, it's like 5%. So they just don't taste the same at all. Like you can't compare fizzy drinks over in America to the UK. It's mad. Well, it could be true, John. To be fair, I mean, it could well be. I think people go off to actually get some taste to actually bring it back. But the problem is that my exoticness is a little bit of cheese in a tin of beans, and then I'll have a potato product. That would be it. And then I can tell you all about the different chocolates that I could go for. I'm the most unhealthiest person that there is possible. But no, your chocolate is so different to ours, so different to ours, because it's actually got what you find in vomit. It's got that chemical balance in it to keep it all together, so it has a completely different taste. Whereas ours is much more milky. Yours actually has, I mean, you can see it yourself, it's all online, but that's something that they do put in, and that's from the same brand that sold here. So not very nice. In Sweden, we often have tacos on a Friday and go up more corn, meat, cucumber, tomato, salsa sauce, and all those kinds of things in all the tacos on Friday. There we go. Because obviously your meatballs, I can't go wrong. You can't go wrong with your Swedish meatballs either. Those Swedish meatballs are fantastic. IKEA meatballs, incredible. It's scary brick together. If you actually look at the back of what it says, like the percentage, I could have maybe four. No, I say I haven't, but I could have 4 or 5 cans of Coke until I hit your recommended maximum. Whereas one over there is just because of the levels that they are, and that's just sugar, mine, nothing else. Hang on. General taste better in the old world half than the other half. Fair enough. There we go. So Shibo's in the notes. Yeah, when I go traveling, I don't eat anything. I don't eat anything at all. There you go. Created that during World War II to make it last. See, John is remembering World War II, what actually had to put into chocolate, because I'm assuming that's what you're talking about, and it's still there today. So the taste of vomit is in every single one of your chocolate bars, where we have nice, fluffy bubbles and milk and all that kind of thing. But yeah, it's your transportation problems. That's all it is. Is it takes so long to get from one side of the country to the other, or import it in, or whatever it is these days. And yeah, they use that in all sorts of the bars, though, don't they? It's not just Hershey's anymore, I don't think. But that is the biggest difference. That is the biggest difference. Over in the Philippines, like over that way, they haven't got any sort of, like, their rice and all that sort of stuff tastes fantastic over there, because it's all obviously all fresh bits and pieces. All their fish and everything, amazing as well. Bricks together, like, so what was World War II like, John? Well, back in my day, did you have a tin opener for your beans, or did you have the old, like, the new fashioned, like, rip up bit? Because, you know, they're quite modern now, aren't they? You know, the thing you get your finger underneath and rip them open. Did you have them back in World War II? I told you, John. It made me laugh when I saw John with a spanner. I was like, John has the power of a spanner. How is that? Yeah, so in the Philippines, supposedly they use a lot of fruit. So yeah, they do. So you have just loads of fresh bits and pieces, and they actually put a lot of fresh fruit in the shakes, and they blend it all up with whatever you want to blend it up with. So yeah, if you had like a mango shake, for example, it is literally broken behind you, blended up, and it tastes fantastic. The only thing is that anybody that's in this chat, because it is so different to what any of us are used to, it throws your bow clock off. It's just completely different. So yeah, you just got to be careful with other bits and pieces because it's so fresh. And like the rice again, it's really fresh over there because of course they do it by like the 25 kilo sacks, so you can literally they just eat. It's all that kind of thing over that way is super French. I don't know if I don't know if I can trust him because I think he'll just block everybody. So we can't give him too much power. We can't give him too much power. So I can't imagine Jay and John being moderators for this channel because they'll just be arguing with each other and blocking each other. They'll be arguing about what is the best and worst modular, and I'll just be sat here laughing to myself. So, oh dear, that did make me chuckle. What was World War II like? Oh yes. Oh yeah, that's very true. It might be destroyed. It might be destroyed. We don't want that. All right, well, hang on. Oh, might be a good idea if I added the extra bits in. Yeah, the like the European chocolate, again, that's different because the chocolate over Germany and all the other places like that, they do like the Swiss chocolate. Oh, if you're getting talking of chocolate, like the actual Swiss chocolate, proper dark chocolate. Then you've got the really nice milk. Then you've got the white and all the others. Tastes really nice. But that kind of stuff we don't get over in the UK. We have different ones, and annoyingly, obviously, dairy milk is now being bought over by an American company, and they've changed the ingredients, and it doesn't taste as it used to. So I think a lot of people went from dairy milk to Galaxy just because Galaxy is what people kind of, I guess, grew up with. So it's UK very different to other places in Europe with regards to how the ingredients are put together. So yeah, it's always good fun. So John had a P38, so that was a little tin opener. So they hadn't developed the handles for that then. Yeah, Swiss chocolate's pretty good. Yeah, that's it. It is nice. Well, this is true. Brick together. This is very true. Not too sure. No, he hasn't. No. Built the eyeball. That's the last thing Jay built. He built that. Not mine. Built his own. So he did do that. But yeah, I'm afraid his favourite ever modular was not built by him. So there we go. I'm sure when Jay hears his name mentioned and he starts to look at the chat, he does have the power of the spanner. So just be weary. But I don't think he's here anymore. I think he's sorting out all of his Star Wars collection. So if he's not here to defend himself, I'm not defending him. So he's finished his toilet break. Not even said goodbye, by the way. If you notice that, he does that. He comes in, talks about his toilet, breaks the bend or the chain, and then just leaves. That's it. Yeah, see, there we go. DJI is the one to talk to about all that kind of stuff. That's the scary and fascinating thing about just differences when you travel. You think you're getting the same thing, and then all of a sudden it's completely done. There we go. Look. So all of John's messages. I don't know how long he's deleted those. Oh, there we go. It didn't take long. I'm up here a ladder. There we go, John. There we go. Oh, that's funny. That is funny. Poor John. He's wondering what's going on now. He's on the other side of it now. Oh, how long's he out for? Oh, he's probably put him in a timeout for a couple of minutes. He's put him on the naughty step. Oh, it would be. I wonder it's about the modular. Yeah, so Jay and John have been going back and forth about the pub modular, and it seems to be over your side of the pond. It's not well received, but over this side of the pond, they think it's one of the best modulars ever made. And every time a modular gets brought up, it's always the same thing. Oh, funny. That is funny. Jason, I'm not sure I pressed 1 or 5 minutes. Well, hopefully John can see. No, I've never done it, but Jay likes the power of the spanner, and he's always lurking just there. Like, there we go. But oh, see, both is. That's why I could never have both of them as mods, because nobody would be allowed to speak. That'd be the thing. That would be the thing. Oh dear, that is funny. That is funny. But I still think one of you lot are going to crumble. I don't care who it is. Somebody from this channel, and it's definitely not going to be me, is going to crumble and get those crocs, I think. Oh no, he'll start singing the Joe Henry song now. He'll be like, oh no. I believe that's what he's going to start singing. Mr. Joe himself. But he does need to concentrate, because he doesn't want to end up falling off his little step ladder. So no, I think they're talking about the pub modular, so the one before. And I think, actually, in all fairness, we said this before, the shopping street in person, much better than what it is on the Lego website. Much better. He did take time to out. Oh, so did you delete all the previous message? You did. So Jay, you've deleted all of John's messages, every single one of them, and put them in a timeout. I don't know if you can undo that, actually. Oh, there we go. So John's deleted all. So John's whole World War II conversation has been deleted from history, and he's been put on the naughty step. Oh, it's all fun and games. It is all fun and games. See, that's why it takes me so long to build these things. I'm just laughing too much. Oh, does it? It auto deletes the messages. Oh well. Sorry, John. Well, at least people will be listening to us talk about it. Yeah, Tudor Corner. There you go, Sean. Sean is a fan of the corner, because Shibo, you're building the shopping street, aren't you, Shibo? Who was on the phone? Have you actually said anything since, Shibo? Hang on. Is Shibo still on the phone? I think I'm going to go all the way back up. When was the last time Shibo spoke? Milk, fruit, vegetables, meat, grains, etc. taste way better. There we go. That was the last time something was spoken. So Shibo actually... Shibo, there we are. The eyeballs are here. So your shopping street, Shibo, how are you getting on with it? How many have you done? Because I can't get involved in this conversation because I've only seen them. I haven't built them. So, but like I said, I am tempted of trying to get Arkham. I think I've got prioritized stuff that's on this discontinued list for this year coming, but I need to be able to do the display I'm doing with Ninjago. I need the temple, the big one, not the boat. So I am thinking of getting the temple with this current giveaway, because the giveaway I'd use for the other display, and that giveaway is going for like £35 at the moment. It's a lot of money for that, because I know it's worth 21, but I didn't think it would go for that amount of money. And then I am still thinking maybe Arkham might be the set after. I think that's what I'm tempted of doing, because I want Arkham, and then I will just be wondering about the bounty and wondering about the X-Men mansion. But But no, Arkham is definitely on the list, but I just don't know. When, because I won't be able to get it this double points, so I'll probably get it next double points, and then after that it might be out. It might have sold out. Oh, I'm assuming your mate got in serious trouble for kicking out the actual teacher of the class. There we go then. So I just end up, if somebody annoys me too much, I actually just block them from the channel. I don't even give them the opportunity of a timeout. I'm just like, off you go, goodbye. Or I really embarrass the person. That's what I tend to do. So I'll go to their channel, get their channel up on the screen, and start looking at their like past video content and just showing it off, and just be like, well, there you go. they don't like that. So I can be very childish when I want to. Very, very childish. And it's like, goodbye. But I've actually got to keep my eye on the on this Kai short, because I think it's going to go. I think people are going to start arguing about it because thinking it's fake or it's real. So the autistic brick. Good afternoon to you. Hopefully you are fit and well. Shibo's on bag 6 of 24. Conker ran. Yeah, so that is getting there. Well, after once Shibo's built it, John, Shibo will be able to explain to you if it is fantastic or not. Because it's still got all the pieces there, hasn't it? So they're adding in the bits somewhere, and I'm assuming it's not in the detail because it doesn't look like there's much stuff going on in the actual room. So it's taller than the cinema, though, isn't it? I'm assuming, because that cinema won't get in a Kallax. So if you look at like these two, for example, you can see how much taller the police station is compared to this. I do like this, even though it's got the road going all the way around it. But the cinema, I think, is taller than this. So I'm assuming the new module is taller than this. So it will drop. So they've got to be there somewhere, but I can't say much. I haven't got it. So I just enjoy the pure misery of other people when it comes to that kind of thing. Oh, fair enough. There you go. Well, as long as you weren't in the car when they were on the laptop driving around, then that's all right then. Otherwise, that could have been a bit on the sketchy, a bit on the sketchy side. That would not have been fantastic. So again, we are doing a double live today. Same kind of humor and banter, but instead of me building, I'm just going to be looking at what I need to get from Ninjago display later. So if you are bored later on, then I will be back. Currently building a mock from the Dark Tower Book 3. Ooh. So what size and scale? What size and scale is that mock? Oh, it's not taller. There we go then. Oh, I would take, if I got told I was a 12-year-old, honestly, I would take that as a compliment, I think. I mean, obviously at heart, but just anything like being a 12-year-old, I've got like just stupid sense of humor, like a child, I think is what it is. But yeah, I think nobody grows up, do they? I think that's the key thing. Nobody grows up at all. So, there it is. Started to dribble. What we got? Oh, it's a 16 by 16 base plate and 15 bricks high. Happy days. No, that'd be nice. It'd be good to 15. That's not bad. Tall then. If you're going 16 bricks high, then that's got some stuff going on with it. But yeah, you've got to have a sense of humor. If you don't have a sense of humor, then there's just no point, is there? There's just no point. Nobody that's liked the video so far, thank you very much indeed. And of course, with the poll, we 15 votes in at the moment. So it's 40% now only pick important sets of minifigures. 27 for army building. I'm assuming that's what Shibo clicked on. Have one of each for 20%. Potentially Jay might have clicked on that. 13%, that was definitely John. So I'm trying to work out what people are like. So yeah. All good fun. All good fun. John is now claiming a piece count means absolutely nothing, and apparently it is a scam. Even though you can buy missing pieces for that set amount. So, like we said, we've looked at this before, didn't we? The Lion Knight's Castle flags were like £7 or £8 per piece. So John is convinced that it means absolutely nothing, which you could do. Different ways of looking at it, isn't there? But I always look at the brick count because of how long I think it's going to take to actually build. Oh, JP, the 40% one. Oh, you only picked you only pick important sets of minifigures. Ah, I thought you would have focused on having like minifigures of each with all the backtracking that you've done and all the toys that you get, and you want a representation of each thing in there. But no, full of surprises. Full of surprises. There we go. This is starting to look lovely. That is all of the detailing that's going on in that roof. Pretty impressive. Yeah, that's it, Shiba. I think that. Well, the thing is, they value each piece, don't they? So say that's 8p, that'd be 12p. That'll be 2p. So if you lose it, that's how much it's going to cost. So that's why people work it out as a basic rule of thumb of how much it is per piece. Because obviously, if it's smaller pieces, you pay. Some of them are less, some of them are more expensive. It's like price to part ratio. The death slice, granted, it's a huge amount of money. Was much better value than the 8080 because the 8080 was one of the most expensive things because it was all bigger bits, and those pieces were. It was the knees, wasn't it? I think it was the ratchets in the knees. I think that's why it cost so much money. Which, I mean, yeah, it sucked really. But when you do pay for something that's a lot of money, you particularly want to fall apart, do you? You don't want to breathe by it and it falls apart and then explodes. And yeah, it's not the funnest of scenarios when that happens. Not really. I only go by piece count because I know how long it's going to take me to put together. Because if you said that it means nothing, then you could have two sets. One could be the same price as 1,000 pieces, and one would be like 10 pieces. You're going to go for the 1,000 pieces, aren't you? So it's not brainwashing. It's just you got to work it out again. We said this before. You've got businesses that will do parts value. They'll know how much on the second-hand market those pieces are. Don't forget when the sets discontinue. And we're looking at minifigures. If you've got £100 minifigure and that's one piece for a torso, that's where it all comes from. So certain pieces are worth a lot more than others. Again, going all the way back to the greengrocer modular. Which modular is really hard to rebrickable? And that's why the set's so expensive, because you can't get the pieces in that correct color. And then it gets very, very expensive. Which it might be the greengrocer. I think it is. Might be. And then that's where you've got to pay for the price of the parts. That's where it comes down to. So the parts are valued at what they're valued at, and then people have their own store. They then value them at more money when it gets discontinued. So you basically don't want to lose bits, otherwise you're going to get absolutely shafted. The only way of thinking about it is if they use smaller pieces for something that could have used a bigger piece on, that's where it's a valid point. Whereas if they use like 3 small bits for 1 big bit, which they haven't in a lot of the sets I've been doing recently, and that's why I was really surprised with that thing behind me. I thought that was going to be made up of much more smaller pieces, and it actually wasn't. So it wasn't too bad. But you don't have to worry, John, because you're not going to get the shopping street, are you? So it doesn't matter too much. So fingers crossed for you. The next modular will be the best. It'll be like a history museum all over again. So don't forget that Natural History Museum is retiring this year. And I don't know if there's a rebrickable for that. I don't know if you can do it a slightly different way or not. I don't think I've never seen anybody do it that way. Not too. The piece value is just being created by the same company that is brainwashing you. Not too sure how that is, John, because if you needed a piece and it's valued at the same price, because if this piece I lost, it'll be the same price on the website as what it is in this set. Different when it's retired, but because obviously the cheapest way of doing it, the cheapest way of getting it is get yourself to a Lego store and they charge you by the cup. So you can get 1,000 of these for like £10 if you wanted to, or you just pay what they value them at as an individual piece on the actual Lego website. But the problem is the people then create a Bricklink store. They sell them for that price, and then when they discontinue, because don't forget they do that, don't they? They discontinue pieces. If you wanted to mock up something or build something from scratch, that's where it drives the price up massively. But no, I think over this way, I think I got in one of the big in one of these. I think I got over 1,000 1x2 pieces for like £12, I think. So that worked out to be really very, very good value. If you look at the world map, easily the biggest Lego set that piece count, but way at half the Death Star. Well, that's it. It's but also it's completely different price point as well, isn't it? Because that's also why you look at how much it costs per thing. Because the world map was cheaper than the Death Star, but the world map was just made up of smaller bits. So that's why it's not just necessarily the actual count, but it's also the type of pieces, because you pay a lot more money for certain bits than you do for others. And new molds, oh my days. Like, I dread to think, if you go on the Lego website, how much the new mold is for the Enterprise, because that was a brand new piece, wasn't it? It was like 8x10 studs or whatever. They'd never done one like that before. But it's a business, John, isn't it? That's the thing. It's like they're not lying to you. That's what they value that piece at. It's like how you if I lost a piece from this set, I would have no choice but to pay how much that is. But it'd be cheaper getting it in the set than it would be buying it individually on the Lego website. And of course, if you were to get like 8x8 plates and clip them together, the price of those plates are different to the price on the website. Oh yes, I know who got that as well. I know who you sold that to. But you didn't need it, did you? You didn't need the History Museum. It's a nice modular, but you didn't need it. You didn't need it in your life. But I've always found the Ninjago stuff, it's got a much higher brick count, but it's also got much more detail than anything else. That's another way of looking at it. And it's also looking at it of how they've used their parts. That's the key thing for me. How do they do it? Get on. Like I said, I'm spoilt with the Ninjago stuff. Highest brick count, cheapest prices, no IP license. Laughing, really. Absolutely laughing with these. But certain things are just going to get more and more fruity. I dread to think what the actual Star Wars prices are going to be, especially with that smart brick. What they're all going to end up, being. Right, there we go. That's the next bit on. Again, these are heavy as well. So Joe says it's the same in the 6-inch game. It's the cost of the steel mold that's expensive. That's why 3.75 and 6-inch scale figures are so close to the price now, as the plastic volume is the cheapest cost. Ultra Bricks. Hello. Oh, that's where you've landed. Welcome. Well, hopefully you had a good flight over to the States. I don't know if Washington's got the snow, but going by everybody else that's over here, I think the Americans are going to be fresh over this weekend. Because what time was your flight? What time was the flight? Oh, that did not go well. A good idea if I actually clip that together. Oh, hello from Washington. Hopefully your travels have gone well, and hopefully it's holiday, not business. Sean is officially modular free. Modular free. There we go. I've actually clipped the thing on now. Clipped the thing on. Oh, you are going to get hit, but as long as you landed okay. You might get stuck there. But because if it's going to be bad, then how long are you there for, by the way? No Lego. Hopefully they've got a Lego store at the airport. Fingers crossed. Oh yeah, 9. Number 9. Right, last bag. Last bag. Yeah, but if you did the cost of the world map by the pieces, because obviously it's smaller pieces, it's going to be less cost per price point, isn't it? Which is, again, what you can get them for. And then the Death Star is a higher value, bigger pieces, and then you're going to work out what it is. Because the basic rule of thumb is for a non-licensed IP, it's like 9 or 10 pence. Basic rule of thumb. So then you know how much you're getting stung by tax and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's the thing. There's loads of different ways of looking at it, but you can't say brick count doesn't mean anything, because I wasn't saying anything about the value. It's just very much a case of, obviously you've got more pieces in, like the Ninjago stuff is the best value stuff there is, because they're always high brick value. I mean, this is what, 1,000 something? And this is a full mix, and it's heavy. It's got all the small bits across the bottom. It's got a good mix of small bits, big bits. But the world map was obviously the single studs. But you go by priced apart, it's just cheaper than what it is by the Death Star. Well, this is it. Like, that's why if you have the basic thing of about 10 pence ish over the set, because obviously, we've got the 8080. The 8080, if you worked it out, I think it was like something horrendous, like 14, 15 pence a brick. Whereas the Death Star was about 10 pence a brick or 11 pence a brick or something. So then, what you got to think of, what's better value? You get more pieces for more money. You get less pieces for less money. That's the way. People buy their own stuff and how they want to do it and whatever they want to do and how it is and whatever else. And of course, you can also have this thing with other companies as well, couldn't you? Because all the other companies, like the Mattel, their higher value sets are astronomically expensive. So the He-Man Castle, I think from Mattel, is what, 399, 499, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there we go. So yeah, it's it will be important if you had your own store, I think. I think that's basically what it comes down to. If you've got your own Bricklink store, you'll care. If you don't have your own Bricklink store, it doesn't really matter as much. But hopefully, Ultra Bricks, you don't get stuck for too long, and you do have a good time, because the snow isn't going to spoil what it is that you want to do. I think we're talking about two completely separate things, John, because yeah, I think I know where we're going wrong, but we're just going around in circles. So we'll just move on, I think, because if you went to a shop and bought a can of Coke for 23p, you wouldn't have that same argument with this. So this is the price that it's valued at. So you have to buy this as a replacement piece. And then it has a knock-on effect from the Bricklink stores, because they'll then be like, well, when this piece gets discontinued, people want this from this set to build a mock. So this, for example, when this retires and it's got 20 exclusive pieces, this will then quadruple in price. So that's why it's always quite handy to know. And then you keep the pieces spare, especially when it comes to mocks and stuff. But we're just going to keep going around in circles, aren't we? So it is what it is. And your price to part ratio is different to ours because of how much extra you pay for the sets as well. So it gets a little bit rough. Gets a little bit rough. But on a positive, I've got to be over the halfway mark of this now, because I'm on step 258. And this finishes at, oh, hang on, 354. So I'm assuming that's it then. I'm just doing roof now. So that's it. Apart from all the different bits of the roof, which is going to take ages, that is the size of it. So that's all the detailing and everything around the side. That's all the different bits and pieces round on this bit. And then you've got that bit as well. So that looks good. That looks good. So I'm assuming it is going to have a liftable, removable? It might have a removable roof, maybe. Oh, that was much colder than I thought it was going to be. Good grief, it's got cold up in here. So, what is the next modular going to be? Because are we ever going to get the complete set of police, fire, and ambulance? Because does anybody own the original? Does anybody actually own the original fire station modular, by the way? Is that on the Lego website? Is that on there? We've got police station, fire stations. Good grief. £1,500 new. Not a chance. There it is. Does anybody own this? Ultra Bricks, goodbye. Stay safe, stay warm, and have fun. Hopefully you... Oh, missed it. Didn't get the giveaway automatically, so just ask the customer service. In terms of customer didn't include it as it was over the threshold. So they kind of... Oh, there we go. So Ultra Bricks managed to get the giveaway. I've just got all the messages coming through. Hang on. Where's all these come from? Right, hang on. Sorry, I've missed loads. So Ultrabrick said got in yesterday, got hit by the snow, sadly. And then John said, I just built a new modular that's better than anything Lego has done with the light kit, including it was $60. Yep, see, that's the thing. They scale very, very well, don't they? For some reason, I've missed half of these that have come through. Ultrabrick said managed to snag the lion dance the giveaway with my the forest, obviously from the Bricklink designer program. Going to see if I can find anything at a local Lego store, weather depending. Good. Well, hopefully you can do. I don't know why. I don't know what is going on with mine because it will just not come through properly. Goodbye, Rick. Take care. Take care. I don't know. I've got live chat on, but I don't know if I'm only getting the top chat messages come through. Let me swap it all over. Hang on. Let me shut this. Close this down. I don't know why. Coming through. So I've got Shibo, Sean's, John's, Ultra Bricks, Shibo, Ultra, Brick Together, John, Brick Together, Ultra Bricks, Sean, Jay. So they've changed again. So I've swapped it back to live chat and there's stuff missing again. Right, what we got? We got. Right, there we go. Right, we're back with it. I think I'm back with it. I think I've covered all of that. There's maybe one thing that I didn't say, which was Brick Together about the world map, but I think we just covered that, so it should be fine. It should be, yeah. I think we're there. I think, but if I missed it. I do apologise, but I don't think I did. I think we're all up to. I think I'm all up to date with everybody. Yeah, so I said to John about can't argue with that. That one. The world map has a lot more pieces by your standards, so it should be $1,000 set. Well, no, it's because we're dividing it by the price to part, aren't we? So that's the difference. So like the Star Wars is higher price, so you put that against another UCS set, and that's where you try and get a basic rule of thumb for how much these pieces are. So price to part ratio for the world brick is probably only 7 pence a brick, whereas the 8080 was about 13-14 pence a brick. That's where you can start to very, very quickly work out if it's good value or not. But I think that's where everybody's sort of looking at it from a completely different perspective, I think. So we will move on. I think that's what we'll do. I think we covered it anyway. But I don't understand why the messages aren't coming through. I think they all are now. So Shiba waving, I've got Ultra Bricks waving. Yeah, I think they're all coming through now. Right, there we go. I think we're there. All good, sexy fun. But nobody answered if you have the if you actually have the fire station or not. Because I don't know anybody that actually has that, because that's going to be a very, very valuable modular if they release the police station. Because I can see them not doing a police station for ages. A hospital for ages, and screwing over the people that have the current fire station. Because I can see them doing another fire station before they do a hospital. Because I still think they're going to find the hospital too close, too touchy with everything. Because I still think they were going to do that before COVID. It never came through. Too expensive. Yeah, that set's far too expensive now. Far too expensive now. But I just don't know anybody that's actually got that. I don't know anybody that owns it. Good question, Shibo. Obviously, times 2 points is coming in at the end of the month. For me, nothing. I don't think. I'd like to get something for the giveaway. But for ×2, I'm going to wait until the next time, because I think I'm going to wait for Arkham, which will then probably take us till April, maybe. And then you just got to be quick with the sets that are retiring, because that's where they're gonna disappear. Oh, it's ×2. Yeah, that's where they're going to disappear. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know. And the rain has just started on the roof, and it is definitely getting colder up in here. We've got a freezing night tonight, I think. Nothing like you Americans. We got we might have a teeny tiny bit of snow at the start of the week, not the blizzards that you're going to have, so we can't moan too much. I wonder when my Batman anniversary display is going to cut. Ooh. Which one's that? What set number is that? No, I'm not too sure, Shibo, with the bounty, because I'm on the fence with the bounty and the temple. I think I might have to get the temple first to see if I've got any space. And then the bounty retires before the Arkham. But I think Arkham's more important to get. So I might get the Arkham. Might get the Arkham instead. I think. Possibly. There we go. Magic. So this is getting taller. It's actually going to be taller than what I thought it was going to be. So that's the side of the roof. Definitely missed a piece. I can see that. That'll be going in. But that's how tall that is. Surprising. What bit is supposed to go underneath that? Oh, has it got a missing bit? Oh no, there is a gap there. Oh. Hey? Huh. I'm sure there's probably supposed to be something underneath that, but that's easy enough to take off. That does not look right to me whatsoever. I've got a load of little artifact bits going in there, which is smart. Yo, how are we all? Oh, the golden... Oh, that one. Sorry. Yes. The big bat. I'm with you now. I'm with you. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, because that's the one that's on pre-order, isn't it? So that won't be too long until that one arrives. Where has that gone? I wonder. I'm a bit of a nightmare. I must have dropped a bit on the floor. Yeah, I want to know. Have you figured out what there is? Have you figured out all the Easter eggs from that yet? Because obviously we were looking at that last week, weren't we? So I just wonder how if you've caught all the Easter eggs that are in there, or they're definitely in double digits, aren't they? They're definitely in double digits for all of them. I'm not happy with that. Nearly. I'm just messing around now with the roof. There's a couple of bags left. It's just all fiddly bits. So it's just a mix of stuff to put down. I'm just making an absolute hash of this part of the bag as standardness goes. But we're plodding on. We're plodding on because there's a lot of detailing in the roof. Yeah, a load of detailing in the roof. So it's just getting all those bits and pieces together. Oh, that's looking at that bit, is it? Yeah, I'm just making sure that I've not messed it up any more than what I needed to have messed it up. I don't think I have. So I have. I know exactly what I've done. And that is now sorted. There we go. No gap. That's why I showed you that. Otherwise I'd have been like, there it is. We're away. We are. There we go. That took long enough, but that gap now has gone because, as per normal, I'm an idiot. So yeah, that's what that looks like. Yeah, looks nice. Yeah, do it. Make a little review of it. Be nice. Because I don't know, obviously, apart from yourself, I don't know who else is going to be getting the DC sets. I don't know who's going to be getting the DC cars or anything like that. Yeah, I don't know. I do not know, but they do look good. And the game looks good as well. So I don't know how many gamers are around actually. I don't know how many of you actually play the games. Obviously, we've covered it in the live stream before, but we've got different names in today, so I don't know how many of you are gamey people. Oh, really? So they are true, are they? Because it was Sean that said that, wasn't it, about the Nike trainers going for thousands and thousands of whatever it will be. So was it 10, 11,000 they were going for? More? Scary money. I still think Sean can buy both. You can buy, or just save your money, get those Crocs, and you're good. That's all you need to do. Simple as that. It's all you need to do. Yeah, I think so. I think that would look really nice with the bigger DC. Because have you got any of the other bigger DC sets? 20 grand for a pair of trainers, not a chance. No, Sean, behave yourself. Let me guess, you got two at home, have you? You've all got some of these trainers that nobody knows about. That's why everybody bar me has all these sort of huge backlogs of sets, because you've all got these trainers and shoes of stuff. No. I've got no taste. Got nothing like that. Not for me. Not for me. I think I know what ones they are, though. They're the big, chunky chubber things, aren't they? I do believe he wore them on stage once as well. Oh, it has got a flap, he says out loud. There we go. There we go. So you've got lots of detail and hidden stuff on the inside of this as well. So it's Packs a punch. Packs a punch. You can see where all the detail is going in on this, which is nice. Very, very nice. I'm assuming I've got to do exactly the same thing again, potentially. I am definitely getting cold in here. So I'll go live. I'll finish this bag off and I'll go live again later on. I'm just going to do a deep dive into the Ninjago sets. I know what your latest build is as well, Sean. So that it looks phenomenal. So I'll go live 7:30, 8 o'clock, because what we now, 6:30? Yeah, 6:30. So yeah, go live about 7:30, 8 o'clock, and then we'll just tuck into the different bits and pieces of. So I want to basically do a history of Series 1. The minifigures are amazing as well. So all the snakes and all the other bits and pieces, and then we can potentially do a mirrored image on another sort of backtracking of some of the older sets, and then just plod on and anything like that. So that'll be good. The spare pieces that I had, I put them in this. There's another one there. I think doesn't happen often. One or two of those spare pieces that I couldn't figure out where it went from the previous bag actually goes with this bag. There it is. You kind of want the Orient Express sometime this year. I want a set that I can fit my Lego Old School Town. Don't know if it's retired though. Got to get light and kicked. It is. It's gone, DG. It's gone. It's that one. I'm afraid it went. It went in a sale, and then it went from the Lego group. So yeah, it's gone. It's big though. That's the problem. So if you're thinking of adding a train. If you've got old school like Lego system type sets, that train would be far too big, because that is what, just the train with the coal bit. So no carriages at all. It takes up literally 3 pieces of track. So it's massive in total, because the carriages are far too big for that kind of thing. I've got the carriages just here. It is absolutely, better stand up to pick it up. Absolutely enormous. You're best off going for John's scale, which is, he's got the Harry Potter smaller train. Like this will be too big. I mean, look at the size of that. It's enormous. So for this, I think this wouldn't work for you. It would be. It's a beautiful looking thing, but you're best off going for like a Lego City scale one instead. If you're trying to do a display that I think you're going to do, which would be the smaller Harry Potter train, the new police station train's coming out, but that won't work. The only one that is like that shape with regards to it being a steam engine is the Harry Potter train. So it's basically, obviously, it's red instead of blue, isn't it? But it's so big, so big, and the fact it's retired. If you're lucky, you might be able to pick it up at half decent price, but it's So I don't know. Yeah, so the Hogsmeade's got you, but the good thing is about the Harry Potter stuff is that they'll keep coming back, won't they? So it will keep coming. So You've got you. I mean, if you that might be too modern. So you're after. Be something like not the big thing, obviously. It'd be this kind of thing is what you're going to be after, and I would assume that you're gonna get another one sometime this year because they do Hogsmeade, then they do the one in London, don't they? Then they do Hogsmeade and go between the two. So I would say go for something like that. Jay's got it in his collection built up. I don't know if John has built this one up or not. I don't actually know who else has this one. So yeah, I'm not 100% sure, to be honest. Warner Brick Stud, how are we? Good afternoon to you. I'd say that's a better scale for you. I would say that the that one is huge. It's too. It's the Orient Express is massive, massive. Don't forget, it's two carriages plus this, so it takes up. Is it 5 base plates or something ridiculous like that? Probably. How many base plates is that taking up? 2. Yeah, it's at least 4. At least 4 base plate. It's just huge. It's just really, really, really long. So, because if you're putting it by the smaller build, because the Harry Potter, like this Hogwarts Express, it goes perfectly with like the Lego City stuff. So it goes with your Lego City bits and pieces. It goes with the buildings. It goes with all of those things. Whereas I would imagine because if you look at that train is on what? It's on 3 bits of track, maybe. So the whole train is on 3 bits of track, whereas the actual carriage is about the same thing. So, like this, it depends if you're doing it through like a modular city, then yeah, you'll be fine. It depends if you've got the space as well. But this is base plate. Here we go. Hang on. So that's a 32 stud base plate. And if you think you've got 2 of those carriages plus the actual main juggernaut, it's huge. It surprised me how big it was, to be honest. Yeah, so it's just very, 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 very long. It's not tall at all. Obviously, you can see it's putting it beside. I'll put it beside this. The height's fine. It just depends on if you've got the length, because this is also difficult to motorize as well. Whereas if you wanted a power up one, you could go for that. But because this is retired, this would be quite difficult to get your hands on. But I mean, I love it. Don't get me wrong, and I have it in. Because bearing in mind, I've got it beside the Rivendell, the Shire, and the Dungeons and Dragons, and I had it in front of my Winter Village stuff, and it worked perfectly. It does work well. But if you've ever seen the hang on, just so you got an understanding of stuff. I am just on a mission. I am just grabbing something for you to see. Right, so I've got it. Not the easiest thing to grab, but it's in a right awkward place. But right, so that is the carriage of this one. That is the carriage of the new Winter Village. That's one of them. So that's the size differences with the carriages. Of course, the Harry Potter one is going to be a little bit bigger than these. These carriages are tiny, but the actual locomotive, this thing, is a fantastic scale. So this thing here, so that thing is a really nice looking train. It is again about a base plate long. In fact, it's just over a base plate long. But if I can, I grab everything so viciously. Just you get the idea. So this thing is just part of the train, and it's the same height as you can see, but it's just a lot bigger. So with regards to the actual size of everything, like again, this is this. So you put those two side by side, and you can just see how much bigger it gets. So yeah, you can, like, with something like this, it's got the chairs and things on the inside. So it's just that I would be imagined be like what the Harry Potter train is like. But no, the Orient Express is just a monster. So just be weary if you can find it, just how big this thing actually is. And of course, it's not including the front, because this bit, with this bit actually attached, it's obviously much bigger. So there we go. So that's it. So that's the front of that with that bit on. You can see just how big that is. So yeah, it's huge. Basically, it is huge. It does look good though. It does look very good. So if you can get one, then try it. But yeah, so the Hogwarts Express Collector's Edition is 106, which is, I think, slightly longer than this, but it's much taller, isn't it? So there's a lot more going into it with that, but that is a proper display piece. Whereas this is basically the right height, but it just depends if you want the length. That's all it is. So, but the internals of this are gorgeous, because obviously you've got each seating compartment on the inside. It's just very expensive now, because obviously with it being discontinued and then people waited for it, you've just got to be careful. It does look fantastic on display, but you might have other options, I would say. So potentially, but of course, if you want it, then go for it. All right, is that back in? Yes, that's back on. We're back on. Hogwarts Express 118. It's longer and longer. Yeah, I know the huge express train's massive. Yeah, so it's just there's other options. It just depends on what locomotive that it is that you want, because great, that is the first one that I've got. Obviously, you got the older green one as well if you wanted it, which is the same size locomotive there or thereabouts. But the Harry Potter one will be about that size, and the carriages will be slightly different. This is obviously much more detailed, but it's just obviously a lot more. It's going to be a lot more difficult to get hold of. Whereas if you just waited you could potentially get the new, if there's going to be one this year, the new Harry Potter coming this year. So you don't have to backtrack anything. You don't have to pay an absolute fortune for anything. But of course, it is completely up to you. All you can do. Well, the thing is, I mean, they alternate, don't they, with the stations and everything? They tend to alternate every single year. I don't know who's got what with regards to that. Hogsmeade was very, very nice. They did do the one at 9 3/4 where the track went over the top. Again, that looked nice, but the locomotive is basically exactly the same. So any of the Lego City trains are all about the same sort of scale. It's just that if you've got this and you wanted to add another train to it, the only thing that would go with this would be the massive Bricklink train. But yeah, it's just very long, very, very, very long. But it does look nice. It does look nice. So it's completely up to you with regards to that kind of thing. All right, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, have to wait and see. Just have to wait and see what happens. It might turn up. It might not. More and more detail going on this as well. But yeah, I mean, it's like Shubo says, the problem is, and obviously Sean knows as well, the Orient Express retired and then it just went, it just skyrocketed up. It might come back down, just let it calm down. If you've got space for it and if you've got the funds for it, it's a much better build. But you're paying a serious amount of money for what it is. I have been slid. My DMs have been penetrated, have they? Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Oh, you are joking. There's no way. I'm going to have to get that on the second-hand market then. You are a horrible individual, Mr. J Toy Collection. You say breaking news as we're on or about to finish, so we'll be tucking into this later on. I will see if I can find this on the background. Hang on. Oh, 18 hours ago. So it's not breaking news. Right. So it's up. I'll see if it's on the Lego website as well. Let's have a look. 40906. No, so it's not on the Lego website yet, but it is up here. Hang on. Which one is it? Where one is it? This is it. So this morning. So this is it. The original restaurant of the world. Oh. So we've had the houses of the world, haven't we? Commented on the process of creating the French caf. and these design rules. But hang on, is this looks minifigure scale though? I thought the other one that they did year ago, year before last. I thought that was because they did the smaller buildings at a micro scale, weren't they? But that actually looks like it's got 2 minifigure seats at the front with a sushi bit at the top. So looks nice. Oh, it's designed by the same designer, was it? That's what I say. It's the successors of Houses of the World, but it's minifigure scale. Because a lot of you got these. I'm assuming a lot of you have these. No, it's not so much having big buildings with it, DJI. It's just really very, very long. So the height is exactly the same as everything else. It's just that I think with the older Lego City stuff, it might be better off just having a smaller carriage as such. It's just the carriages are really long. That's all it is. So scales were the wrong words when it's kind of the same height. It's just a lot longer. And you could potentially get 2 trains and a load of track for the same price as one of the Orient Expresses. So it's the length. Yeah, it's just really very, 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 very long. So that's the thing. I just don't know if it's just going to be too long. Like, say for example, this wouldn't work with a Lego City train station because it's just far too long. That's the thing. So it's not so much. It's just yeah. That's it. So I think I'm trying to get it across. But yeah, so that's this then. So that's supposedly a thing. It's now out and about, and I'm always amazed that Brick Fanatics post all of this stuff up on there. Are affiliated with the Lego Group, aren't they? So it does look nice though. I'm assuming it's going to come out. Is it going to be a double points giveaway, or is it going to be out after double points? We might get more images later on. I don't know. I don't know. What's the oh, there. I got to that point of where the booklet. I have. Though the booklets, they're doing the same thing on all the booklets now, aren't they? Where if you try and rip them open, you can see I don't particularly want to tear that open. I've heard rumours for the next current. Oh, there we go, that's better. But I thought it was supposed to be like original figures. So Shibo says I've heard that the CMF Series 30 will be based on a movie series. And I've also heard that the Ninjago character is going to be a Ronin character. Then there's supposed to be a Bionicle character in it, but then there's going to be a goalkeeper and all sorts of weird and wonderful stuff. So it's not going to be Lego movie characters, I don't think. So I don't know. Lloyd's coming for Series 29. Yeah, I think so, or 30, or whatever series it's going to be. I don't know. Because a lot of people are a bit short on that. It'd be interesting to see what happens. But I thought it was going to be a classic. So you get like a classic space character, a classic pirate, castle, Ninjago, all of them. Like you got every single OG character, and that is not the case. So yeah, I don't know. So you got the Bionicle costume. Yes, indeed. I've heard about that. But no, it's all good fun. Right, so this is... Oh, it goes that way. Okay. Lots and lots and lots of stickers. This is what this is based on. And then, is that going... Oh, it is. There we go. So that's the front, which is looking nice. I think that's looking nice. So I think what we're going to do is I'm going to wrap things up here now. We'll carry on with this tomorrow as a build, and I will go live again at 8 p.m. What time are we? Well, 6:40 now. So within the next hour, just between the next hour onwards, is when I'll go live again. The stream will be set up in the next sort of 10 minutes for you guys and girls to have a chit chat amongst yourselves. I'm just going to do a deep dive into all the Ninjago characters, all of Series 1, and all the other little bits and pieces that I want to backtrack personally. And then we'll carry on building this tomorrow. But that is where we're at the moment, and it looks incredible. It really does look very, very, very nice. You've got all the little detailing on the inside, so it does look very, very smart indeed. So I'm good to go. I've got a couple more pieces I could do with this bag, but I'm just going to leave them be and crack on with it tomorrow. So let's finish the poll, figure out exactly what's what. So 48% was only pick up important bits. So 48%, army build 24%, 18% for one of each, and 10% of you wanted to focus on more sets. 21 votes in total. So I will be back in about an hour. If you're bored, come and say hello. If you're not bored, then don't worry about it. But of course, again, you are over in the States, just be careful. Just watch your backs and everything like that, and stock up on the beans and everything else like that we were talking about at the start. I really hope you guys don't get properly snowed under. So yeah, fingers crossed it's not going to be horrific for you all this evening, because I'm assuming it's starting any time now. So yeah, not good fun. So yeah, if you're about in an hour, I'll see you then. Like I said, the actual live thing will be up on YouTube in the next 10 minutes, so you can carry on talking to each other then. If not, I'll catch up with you soon. Right, guys, take it easy, everybody. Take care. Bye, bye.